Well, we did the niceties earlier, so I'll just get straight into it. Know that drinks are awaiting in the next room. Today we're going to take a little bit more of a deep dive into the mobile side of things, give you guys an update on what's happening in our world, what are some of the new things coming, and what's available today in terms of leveraging things in your business. So a little bit more of the now than the future. I like to start these kinds of things by sharing a little bit about what our customers are saying. We're fortunate as a business like us who deals with a lot of businesses in New Zealand to learn and understand along the way when we meet with our client managers meet with our clients, and we kind of think it's valuable to get that information and feed it back to you guys and let you guys know what other people are thinking, because sometimes you don't get exposed to that in your particular businesses. So we've got a group of kind of 4 key themes that our customers keep talking to us about, and some of them seem pretty obvious, but they're little tweaks to those obvious statements. The first one there is wanting to improve financial performance, and we're hearing that that's a constant theme, and that seems like an obvious one, but the difference we're hearing these days is those simple things that we used to be able to do to take cost out of our businesses aren't there anymore. We actually need to take a look at more innovative approaches to doing that. And the second thing we're hearing is it can't be marginal differences. It can't be shave a little bit here and shave a little bit here. It's actually fundamental changes in terms of underlying cost structures are required to keep competing in the environment that people are in today. So that's one thing that we keep hearing. The next one, and you've heard it a lot today, is about collaboration. And the thing we keep finding with our customers is that often these are simple things. There are little things that people can do that can create huge benefits in terms of collaboration, and they don't have to be expensive. In Genai, Chris, our CEO, manages 3,000 employees across 2 countries, and he's got a big job in terms of keeping relevant and personal with those people in his business, and we have a really big people culture. So he uses Twitter, for example, to tell people what's going on in his world, what's important to him and how he's feeling. It didn't cost us anything to set up that, but that's a cool way that someone in a leadership position in our business can stay relevant to the people in our business. The next thing we're hearing is wanting to improve customer service, and again, that's a really obvious one. But what we're getting from the shadows beneath that is it's about being more real time. Customers nowadays are expecting you to be available then and there. They don't want to wait to get an answer to a query, or they don't want to wait to get support, or they don't want to wait to get your problem solved. They want it done now. And research we've done shows that about 80% of consumers are likely to go to somebody else if they don't get a response to a question within the first hour of asking that question. So that's something we're finding more and more, is that customers want immediate responses, and if they don't get it, there's choice. And that choice is growing. It's not just New Zealand that you have to compete with, it's the world nowadays. You can consume just about any kind of product or service via the internet, or order it, or get that service experience from anywhere around the world. So it's becoming more and more important to be real time with your customers. And the last thing is they're telling us they want us to be more innovative, and what that really kind of stems from is that globalization. It's how do I stand out in the crowd? How do I make my service more relevant to people who are in New Zealand or the markets that I'm trying to operate in? How can I do something that's different? How can I show the New Zealandness through my product, and what can I do to make things a little bit unique? Because those companies that are successful are the ones who understand their customers and do something that's different, competitively different to other people. And that's something that's more and more important as the world kind of grows and that competitive environment changes on a regular basis. So, what do you do with that? Well, we kind of did some research out there, and we found that customers, when we asked them about how mobility could be used in their business, they came back to us with some key themes about how they felt mobile could enable their business. So this is coming from customers back to us. And you'll see there that a lot of those things actually line up with the kinds of things that they want as outcomes out of their business. That's a nice happy coincidence for me standing up here talking about mobile. But what I've really kind of taken from this is, even though they believe those benefits are there, very rarely are they actually realizing them. Customers aren't very often leveraging mobile to its capability to deliver some of those outcomes. And often that's because mobile is seen as an island within the customer's IT landscape. It's not something that's integrated well with the rest of their business planning. It's kind of, we need some mobile handsets and some data plans and some voice plans to make calls and send texts and those kind of things, but it's not part of their overall mobile strategy. And we think that taking a different approach to mobile can help customers realize some of those benefits and deliver some of those business outcomes. So where does Geni fit in? Well, this is a bit of the sales plug today, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of view of how we feel we can add value to you guys as an organisation, because we're not a mobile company, we're an ICT business. And so our job is to take technology and turn that into business outcomes. And we've talked today a lot about agility and enabling agility in your business. And we think mobile and the nature of mobile can be a really powerful tool to make that happen. So where does it start? Well, for us, it starts out at the basics, being really good at cloud and data, and hopefully we've kind of demonstrated to you that we know our stuff in that respect today. Being really good at mobile, you've got to have a basic foundation, and our customers consistently tell us that we're good at it and that we're better than our competitors. Being really good at fixed voice, some of the basic things there, but you've got a safe pair of hands with Geni. We know this business, we've done it for a long time, we've got a lot of customers who trust us with that core part of their business. And the last thing is adding things to that which enable outcomes for our customers in our customer contacts and experience centre. Summing that up, really, you kind of get to the point where we're really good at delivering robust, secure infrastructure to our customers. And that's kind of a core tenet of what we do as a business. And we take those things that are kind of big, massive chunks of IT and we make it work in a fashion that's available to everyday businesses in New Zealand. We add on top of that, as Geni, a services business, capability from the likes of IBM, Cisco's, Microsoft, those guys, and we create solutions for you guys. And we turn those capabilities and infrastructure and applications into outcomes for your business. But what it really comes down to is the people that we have. There's a lot of them in the room today, but we've got 3,000 employees looking after 3,000 customers. There wouldn't be many businesses in New Zealand or even in the world who have that kind of ratio. And these are guys that are experts in their fields and recognised globally as being so. Just to put that in perspective, there's 1,400 people whose job it is just to make things work every day, get them installed, keep them going, monitor them, make sure that things happen as they're supposed to happen. And that's a really big part of our business and who we are. Taking all those things, you can kind of be confident that we've got what it takes to take you on a journey towards getting to a place where you can leverage that mobile in your business. So the journey, and we've heard about journeys today, and it's not dissimilar from a mobile perspective. The guys before us talked about PSI, and the great thing about PSI is that PSI is a program that looks at infrastructure, that stuff that Justin talked to us about. It looks at applications, and it looks at users or end devices. And what that means is that we can map out a journey for you across your IT infrastructure that looks at how do you deliver infrastructure, how are the applications supported on that, and how do users access that information. And one of those key ways to access it is via mobile. So your PSI plan will actually give you a view across all of those areas about how you can leverage those technologies that you might have in your business today, optimize them, and move your business forward. We kind of have a four-step process there that kind of takes you in your mobile environment from something today which is probably just a cost in your business to something that's adding value to it. We'll work with you through the same process as they do with cloud to assess where you are today, paint a vision for where you want to go in the future, and then take you along that journey. And now a little bit more tactical, give you a little bit of update on the XT network, and I think fair to say that we've had a little bit of a rough year in some respects, but we've come a long way. We've spent a good chunk of change, as telecom does when it has a problem, to fix things. Simple things for us, but quite a big program of work. Now we've got 8 RNCs installed in the network, up from 2 a year ago. We've quadrupled the capacity in our switching network, those sort of things. So we've made massive investments in terms of getting the network up to speed. And what that turns up for you guys is we've got the ability now, and we've rolled out HSPA Plus across our network nationwide, which really means you can get really fast broadband on your mobile anywhere in New Zealand. We back that up by installing fibre to most of our sites through New Zealand, so that experience that you're getting from a radio perspective is actually delivered end-to-end across the network, and that's really important when you're designing a mobile network that's based around delivering great data performance. From a roaming perspective, not a lot has changed except for one cool thing. We've been listening to a lot of our customers when they talk about roaming. One of the big things they tell us about is the price. And we're in a little bit of a sandwich in the middle between our customers and our suppliers. A lot of the time, the price you guys pay for things like roaming data, even though it seems very high, is the price we actually pay from those suppliers overseas. And in some cases, because we have a zone-based price, we're actually paying more than you're paying us. So we're losing money on some of those data types, so we can keep the pricing simple for you. So we're working really hard with the industry and with the government to try and get regulation in this space so that we can make sure that we can pass on some benefits to you guys. And the first thing we've been able to do is to provide a proposition which gives you $1 a meg roaming in Australia, North America and the UK, which is where about 85% of our customers roam to. So it's 100 megs for $100. If you know how $10 text worked in the old days, it works similar to like that. Consume at your normal rate up to $100, and then you get free usage for the rest of that up to $100 megs, sorry. So in comparative terms, in the olden days, that would have cost you about $1,000 for that same usage. Today, it costs you $100. So it's the first step. We're trying to do these things where we get the opportunity to do so, and as soon as we do, we're passing that cost benefit back to you guys.